Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever, wherever you find yourself. Welcome to another episode of Demystify Tech with Sam. First of all, I'd like to render an unqualified apology to you all. Well, the show was supposed to have started around 9 p.m. my time, but due to some circumstances, I couldn't start on time. But the show must go on. So today, we're live. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for everyone who joined us. Thank you so much. And I want to share that today we are actually live also on Instagram. So if you're watching us on Instagram, we're also live on Instagram. I've just been trying something on Instagram. So let me know how that looks. If you're on Instagram, just say hi so we see how that looks. But yeah, we're live on Instagram as well. I'm trying to make sure I can reach you on all the platforms. So welcome. Well, we're going to get straight into it. We don't have any time to waste. But before we do that, as I always say, if this is something that you almost slept, I know, I know, Ellie Clean. Yeah, I know. Sorry. I know, right? Yeah, it was just I just had to deal with some, just had to deal with some things. And yeah, we will have fun. So today, what are we talking about? Today we're going to be talking about part 2 of Microsoft Azure, AI Studio. We'll be doing part 2 of it. Last week we started the AI series, and this week we're going to continue with that as well. So as we always do it, let's go for the montage. When we come back, we're going to have some AI goodness. Stick and stay with me. We'll be right back. Awesome. If you were on Instagram, you didn't see that transition because I'm still working on the transitions, but we're back. We're back. Just as we did all the time, before we get into the session for the day, I try to share with you what's happening. So tomorrow, which is the 15th of June, the Accra.net, Azure.net user group is actually hosting a virtual event, which is hosted by Isaiah Clifford. I'll be speaking myself. Frank is going to be speaking. Weiss is going to be speaking. So there's going to be a lot of goodness. I'll be focusing a lot more on OpenAI stuff. Weiss is going to be doing a lot of other goodness coming from C#. Frank is going to take you through some development stuff. It's virtual tomorrow, 10 a.m. GMT. Make a date with us so you can learn a lot of stuff as well. So today, with that out of the way, let's get into the meat of things. Last week, we started with some very awesome AI session. We used the Azure AI Studio to create, a dummy AI based off of the GPT-4o model. We even asked it to create, a poem for us, and it created a very touchy and very emotional poem about slave trade. If you missed it, go back somewhere here. I think it's here. The link is here. But if you're the same place, you can just scan it, subscribe to the channel, and you can see that information there. So today we're going to continue with that, still exploring it. Greetings from Brahima. Forgive me. Last week, by the time I completed the show and had to take care of some things, it was very late and I couldn't call back. Forgive me. I'll try to reach out to you over the weekend. Like today, I'm starting almost 10:35 p.m. here, which is already like late. So I promise I'll call you over the weekend. Thank you very much for always turning up and joining the show. So today we're going to continue part 2 of it. Now, this is your first time. Please do well to subscribe to the channel for me. Hit the subscribe button. Just share. The more you are, the merrier, and the more we all get to learn, and let's help grow the channel as well. So thank you very much for that. So let's get into it. I hope the sound is okay as well. So I'm going to quickly bring in view. Let's go to the desk. Let's bring in view. So here we're going to go to our let's go to our Azure AI Studio. So ai.azure.com. That's where all the goodness and action is. If you're watching me on Instagram, I hope you can see the things very well on the page. It seems sometimes a bit small, but like I said, I'm doing a test. I don't know. Let me know if it makes sense for me to change the orientation of the video so that if you're watching on Instagram, maybe you'd have to just flip your phone, the other way so that you can see it better. I'm still looking at, what's the best way to do that. So let's go. Let's verify. Let's go here. Open authenticator. We're just gonna get ourselves into. Let's get into the. There we go. Face ID, and we're in. So trying to log into our AI Studio so that we can pick up from where we left off and explore the other part of it. Last week's session, I had a call to action, right? And the call to action was for you to try to create an Azure account, go test it out, test the studio out, build stuff, right? So let's view all our projects. So this is our project, just to make it visible for all of us to see. So this is the project we created, we worked on last week, which was a Demystify Tech demo project. We basically just picked off and used the open ChatGPT 4.0. So just go ahead and open the project. And I think we started interacting with this. So we'll see today if we can move to, something a little different on it. So we created this based off the ChatGPT 0 model. That's what we did, right? And we tested it in the chat. We tried to create an assistive model on it, but I think there was an issue with it, so we couldn't really see it. So today, what I want us to take a look at is even in the how do we say it, in the basics of form for this particular AI. Let's see how we can probably export and leverage it and see how that works. And then maybe in another episode we can talk about grounding and adding data set to it to make it more of our data, just instead of just what GPT 4.0 gives us, right? So we saw the model catalog from last week, just a quick recap of that. And so we were using GPT 4.0, but we saw the options. There were a lot of options for using the Phi, using Llama, using any of those widely available large language models, and even to some extent even some of the small language modules as well. You're free to leverage them and use them. But I want to spend a little time whilst this is loading to talk a little about the whole AI era. There is a conversation about AI GPTs taking over a lot of things. I'll be plain and honest about this. There are certain things that definitely might be will succumb to AI because it's more efficient compared to humans. But I always have this theory I keep saying, that would you rather learn how it's used and infuse that with your knowledge, which makes you the subject matter expert, and that's what's making you employable, so that when your company decides to finally transition to an AI-enabled system or an AI-enabled platform, you would have had first-hand experience doing this. Let's give ourselves an example. If you look around now, a lot of the services from Adobe in terms of graphics to even Windows, right? There are a lot of co-pilots. There's a Windows co-pilot, there's co-pilot in Power Platform, there's GitHub co-pilot you're writing code with. There is, not almost every application, one way or the other, is infusing AI in it. And it's very important that whether you are a hobbyist, whether you're a business owner, whether you are a developer, whether you are just an enthusiast, you understand how these things work and see the opportunities you have to integrate this into your solution. We are doing a lot of that, not only on the development side, but also in our IoT side. So our Crafted Climate Crowd Sense, we're having some AI backings in there to help us even do predictive forecast, and also forecasting, right? Prediction and forecasting of the of the air quality and stuff like that. for instance, if you're, I know somebody who asked the question, okay, so what about if I just sell food, right? Yes, there's analytics in food. There's analytics in food. And I'll tell you, there's this very beautiful example that my friend Deji, we call him the data wizard, who helped a lady who was just selling, the way we have this provision tabletop sellers in our local communities. He did a simple test with the lady. And by the time they digitized all the data the lady had, the woman had, they realized that people were purchasing certain things primarily because of the placement, because that was easy to grab or that was easy for them. The different dynamics in there, the dynamics that you would normally not, see as a human, right? Even if you're selling food, a lot of people buy from you, and how do you call it? People buy from you, and there are some, for lack of better words, there's some demographics or some, like, you have a customer, and maybe every Friday he buys his wachi or food in a particular way, right? He buys the food in a particular way. Let's see, guys. I think our stream, the quality is dropping a bit because I think I'm doing the dual. Let's see. I'm going to end the live on Instagram just to see if the quality improves. If the quality improves, then I think I know how to fix it in the next week's episode. So let me stop this and see if that has any effect on this. So sorry guys, if you're watching me on Instagram, I'm going to end the live, but please join me on either Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn. You can still see me there. I just want to be sure that let's see. I just want to be sure I am not, the quality is good from my end. Okay, so welcome to the show. The quality is on your end. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I have a quality meter here that actually tells me, and I think when I stop the Instagram, the quality is back and the frames are no longer dropping. So I think it has some direct impact on my stream. So sorry, today I think it's also affecting the internet as well. I can see the changes right now. So sorry, we're going to stick with this one now. I think I know where the problem is. Thank you, Susu, for that update. So I will update that in the next week's stream. All right, so let's get back to the so for instance, even it's good even Susu is here. I will even pick on their product, Copiato AI, right? They're using AI for copywriting. So there are tons of opportunities, and here now back to the food selling thing. Now you might be a food vendor, you might have a lot of customers, right? And over a period of time, you might not have, there is the natural human, intrinsic thing that you can tell after a while that, hey, this is my customer there, Friday be out, but talk about, like every Friday he or she comes to buy beans or something. That's intrinsic. You because after a while, right? However, when we're leveraging AI in some of these things, it's easy for the model, an AI model, to pick up these things, and it won't take you a long time. It can pick it up even to tell you the extent of, maybe the particular time, the type of combination or toppings the person does. And this allows you, for someone who is in the food business and has a curated, let's say, technology or tech service, for that, it gives you insight into even proactively reaching out to your customer, maybe on the Tuesday or the Friday where your customer, likes to drink the, buy the food and drink the beer. You can even reach out. Hey, hello, we're expecting you today. We have a special discount for you. So don't miss out. That drives your marketing, to a different level. We can talk about agriculture, right? How do we leverage it also in agriculture? That's another way we can do that. Again, we can look at systems that are integrating weather patterns, that's integrating data from your soil, data, whether you have the amount combination of your nitrogen, your potassium, phosphorus, and all that, and then actually telling you that I think at this point you need to probably add more water. At this point, you need to add more, fertilizer. And over time, based on all the information it's gathered, it can actually tell you that, look, in the next couple of days, based on what we have, there might probably be no rain, or probably you might need to, calm down on the fertilizer application. All right. So from archaeology all the way to zoology, there is there are ways we can implement and leverage AI, right? So all I'm trying to say is that don't see it as an immediate, like, don't see it as a threat to say that because of that, I am not for it. No, understand it. See how you can apply your current skills. Is there a way you can apply your skills or you can add it to your skill to make you more efficient and proficient? I think that is what we should be looking at when we're talking about AI. So today, like I mentioned, Adobe Express, there is, you think about it, a lot of the tools have now incorporated AI into it. Today, a lot of things that you do, you had to do manually, especially in Adobe, like cropping pictures. I just go in there and remove background, just a prompt, and then it moves away. So it's only going to get better and better and better and better. And we just have to figure a way to, add it to what we are doing. All right. So let's go back to our desk. Yeah, that connection really had an impact on this. I think maybe what's going to happen would be to either send a virtual camera feed to a different system and then have that system do the stream. I think I have a picture of how I want to approach that. So like I mentioned, these are a lot of the modules we use the GPT-4. So last week our model was built on top of the GPT-4 0, which is available now. So yes, you can use that. So our model is using this. We talked about the model benchmark. We looked at the prompt. We also looked at the prompt. Let's get this out. Yeah, Liplim, you're saying that in education, I summarize my lecture notes and textbooks. Investing in Django skills because of this. Yeah. I mean, Caves, hey, welcome to the show. Welcome. So let me. So if you remember, the last time that you were on the show that I did the Power Platform thing, where I showed you how to create, it's almost a similar thing we're trying to do here today. So the Azure AI Studio allows you to build all your AI, chatbots and stuff like that. So you can literally use any of this module to build the services and consume it as a REST endpoint, whether it's Django, which was Flask, PHP, C#, whatever that is, you can actually consume. You can consume that. Yes, and Ellie Clean. Yes, you summarize my lecture notes and textbooks. Yeah. I don't know if now, yeah, ChatGPT is paid as a free one, but how do you call it? Windows, Copilot is there. You can literally put files, right? You can literally put PDF files into it and ask it to give you summaries and ask you to, even do analysis on it. If you are using ChatGPT, the enterprise version, there's actually a whole thing you can do, your business model, your pretty much everything by having a conversation with it. I think I'm going to share this trick with you. Something that has to do with prompt engineering, but I want to talk about your AI's memory, right? Now, if you want your AI to be grounded, and when we say AI is grounded, all that it means is it's knowledgeable enough on the information. Therefore, when you ask it to generate something for you, it's going to generate something that's factual, based on what you've taught it, like based on the information you've given it. Now, what you people don't realize is that if you go to your ChatGPT places, right, your ChatGPT space, all the chats you do are saved on one side, right? However, if you continue to use just that chat for a particular topic or particular conversation, it could even be for schoolwork, right? And here, I'm still making sure you're adhering to academic honesty and all that, but it's just a tool to learn. And I'll come to that conversation as well. It's a completely different thing. Now, so on that, if you keep using, so let's say if you started a semester, right? You started a semester and you were learning a particular lesson and you just try this and give me your feedback. In that particular tab, just make sure that if it's, let's say, if it's data structures and algorithms, right? In that particular chat tab, you start with ChatGPT. Keep feeding it what you're doing. If it's a course material, feed it to it. Yes, GPT already has its own base, but give it context based on maybe, so you go and you take lecture notes, right? If you take lecture notes, feed it to GPT, right? And when you feed it to GPT, right, just keep giving it. So throughout the term, just if it's lecture notes, if it's just keep giving it. If it's even an image, right, you can take a picture of it, upload it as text, and then just type it, have a conversation with it. what you're doing is that you are grounding your AI to give you better context. So maybe at the end of the semester, if you say, hey, I want you to summarize, I want you to summarize, everything we've done in data structures, it will give you grounding based off the information you've also given it. Let's try. I want to try something right now, live on TV on my channel. So let's go to. I'm going to change this, and I'm going to connect to. I just want to connect to my phone in a few ways. So if it's connected, you will know. I want to share something with you. I mean, I know ChatGPT released this a while back, but I want to share this with you. Yeah. Will the data I feed go to public or private to me? That is a very good question. So currently with the AI Studio, what I'm sharing right now, any data you use to ground it is your data, right? It's not. How did I know you're doing data science? No, I mean, I just guessed. I wasn't really giving anything, but I was just guessing that out. So what for in the case of your AI, right? They're using the Azure AI Studio. It's not sharing that your information. It's just using it on top of what it's using there. And one of the things I'm very excited about when it comes to Microsoft's use of AI and stuff is the responsible AI practices. So your data is not going to be shared. It's your own knowledge, your own context, it's your own grounding. So that's not going to be shared out. So let me do this. So I believe that my phone is connected. Even though it's sleep mode, I'm going to disable. No, actually, I can disable. Yeah, I can disable the call so that we can test this out. So I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to connect. Let's do. Okay, so let's open Reflector. I want to bring my phone to, because I want us to do something with GPT. We're just gonna have a conversation, and then you can probably understand. Remind me later. So that's open. So Volta. I'm going to go ahead and connect. Okay, there we go. Yeah, sorry. Once I'm done with the connection, I'll share. Actually, let me just share the screen so you can probably see what's happening. Okay, 6259. Okay, hopefully when this connects, I would bring up. Let me minimize this. Okay, so there you go. So you should see my phone now on the screen. There we go. I think so. This is working, and I'm going to enable the audio coming from my phone so that you can actually see. All right, so I'm going to open ChatGPT, and I'm going to have a conversation with GPT. Okay, and just watch how it's evolved. And this is, imagine having this conversation when you have used Azure AI Studio to build your GPTs, and you can access it in your own thing. You can put it in your drones, you can put it in your rovers, you can build your own smart home on IoT and put this AI in it and have the conversation with it. So I'm going to tell it that we are learning, just have a conversation with it. And this is live on my phone. So hopefully it's connecting. And let me know if you can hear. Let me know if you can hear it. Hey, GPT, how are you doing?
I can't hear audio, but I can help with any details you want to share about it. What are you referring to?
Can you hear me?
I can't hear audio, but I can read and respond to your text messages here. How can I assist you today?
Okay, so let me check something right now. It looks as if GPT cannot see. Hold on. I think it can connect to my okay, you can hear it, but I mean, so GPT cannot hear me because the audio setup I am using is not bringing how do you call it? It's not bringing the audio into GPT. So let me see if I can change that pretty quick. Hey GPT, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Not bad. We're doing great. I'm live sharing some knowledge about the Azure AI Studio. Do you know anything about it?
Yes, I know a bit about Azure AI Studio. It's a platform provided by Microsoft that helps developers and data scientists build, train, and deploy AI models. It offers tools for machine learning, natural language processing, and other AI capabilities, all integrated with Azure's cloud services. What specific aspects are you sharing about?
Oh, well, it's just a general conversation. I just want to share, the cool stuff they can do. Can you give me 3 use cases of the Azure AI Studio and what I can build with it?
Sure, here are 3 cool use cases for Azure AI Studio. First, you can use it to build chatbots for customer service. With Azure's natural language processing capabilities, you can create a bot that understands and responds to customer inquiries in real time. Second, it can help with image recognition. For instance, you can develop a system that automatically tags and categorizes images, which is useful for organizing large collections of photos or videos. Third, Azure AI Studio can be used for predictive analytics. You can analyze historical data to forecast future trends, which is particularly valuable in areas like finance, retail, and supply chain management. These are just a few examples, but the possibilities are vast. What do you find most exciting about Azure AI Studio?
Awesome. That's a question I'm going to post to my people on the chat. But if you were to be my sidekick on the show, hosting this every Friday, what would you want me to talk about next?
That sounds fun. For your next topic, you could dive into the practical steps of deploying an AI model with Azure AI Studio. Covering the entire workflow from data preparation, model training, and evaluation to deployment and monitoring could be really engaging. It shows the full journey and gives your audience a hands-on perspective on using the platform effectively. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Whilst we're doing that, can you generate let's say a stream script for me and the plan for live stream, and then send it into a Word document so that I can download that later on?
Absolutely, I can help with that. I'll create a stream script and a live stream plan for you. Give me a moment to put everything together in a Word document.
Awesome. And whilst you're doing that, okay, I have a question. I have a friend who is studying, who just got out of college and is
I
interested.
created the stream script and
Yes.
plan for you. You
Awesome.
can download the Word document using the link below.
Awesome.
AWS AI Studio live stream script and plan. Please open your app to see this link.
Thank you very much.
Hope this helps with your live stream.
It does. It does. Can you help me with this? A friend of mine wants some advice in school. He's learning data structures and algorithms. What advice would you give to him?
Of course. Here are a few tips for your friend learning data structures and algorithms. 1. Understand the basics.
You know
Make
what?
sure to have a
Let's
solid understanding
let's
of
talk about
fundamental
something
data
else.
Structures like arrays, linked lists, stacks, queues, trees, and graphs. 2. Practice coding. Implement different data structures and algorithms in code. Websites like LeetCode, HackerRank, and CodeSignal offer great practice problems. 3. Study algorithms. Learn about sorting and searching
So,
algorithms, dynamic programming,
I hope
and
you are
other
taking
essential
notes.
algorithms. Understand their time and space complexity. 4. Analyze problems. Break down complex problems.
Okay, so I just ended the chat with it. Now take a look at this. The document that it created for me for the stream, you can see the document here. So and it's also actually it's transcribing every conversation we're having. So if you look at this, it's transcribed it. So it started, of course, here are a few things in mind: understand the basic, prepare, And so this is it. You see, this is a transcript. It's sent to me. Download live stream plan and script. So if I click this right now, this will download it. It's a document file. I can, yeah, look at that. So check a look at. So live stream plan, stream script, introduction. Welcome everyone to our weekly AI stream today. We're going to be talking about deploying AI models on other. It's literally created that script for me. Now, I'm going to put this in context. Assuming, okay, for all of us who are shouting AI is going to take our jobs, if I wasn't empowered enough to understand how this tool works, I couldn't even have gone through this process in saying, okay, let me have a conversation with it. Let me fine tune it and ask it to do stuff for us, right? So because I know this and I'm streaming, and because I don't want to spend countless time writing, script for live stream and all that, I could employ the sidekick, which I just did, in a conversational form or even in any way I want it to be, right? And when that happens, now I'll be more efficient. So if this creating the script, it was usually took me, let's say 2-3 weeks, I can now do this in a couple of minutes and my next episode is ready. All right. Now let's do this. Let's ask it the very interesting one. Hey GPT, I have a very interesting question for you. Are you going to take away humans' job?
That's a common concern. AI and automation can indeed change the nature of work, but they also create new opportunities. Rather than taking away jobs, AI can assist with repetitive tasks, allowing humans to focus on more creative and complex work. It can also open up new fields and roles that didn't exist before. The key is adapting and learning how to work alongside AI, leveraging its strengths to enhance human capabilities. How do you see AI fitting into your work or studies?
Thank you, GPT. I think you've done enough for me for today, so we'll talk again later. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could help. Have a great session and talk to you soon.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was my AI sidekick. I don't know how you feel about it. I don't know what you think about it, but this is just please, what app do you use to extend your phone onto your laptop? Oh, it's called Reflector. The tool is called Reflector. This is it. I think I can share that. Yeah, let me bring it here and maybe bring the desk. So this is the tool. It's called Reflector. So it allows me to connect to screen, pretty much mirror any of my devices, and then put it here as well. But then I think the key thing is I'm using a particular audio setup that allows me to bring audio from any device I connect into my stream. So that's a different things. Notice it mentioned work and studies. Yes. So Eliclim, like I was saying, I was just laying that, being emphatic on that. AI is not here to take away. Yes, some jobs will be lost if you don't position yourself for it. But just like you saw, I used it as a sidekick to help me. I could literally have a conversation with it. I could say that I could tell it to play as a host who is a technology expert, and we're having an interview. And so I could have a complete session, an interview session with AI, right? So that's a very interesting side of things. And that is what, all right, I'm going to end the Reflector session. Thank you very much, Reflector. You can go. So that is one of the advantages of using, being able to use the Azure AI Studio to build your own AI. At this point, I mean, if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat. I would bring it up and I'll try to answer your questions to the best of my knowledge. So yeah, we have all these things. I think I mentioned this last week: Llama, GPT, DALL-E, all of them, Da Vinci. And then we looked at the chat, right? So last week we looked at the chat, which allowed us to, interact with it in a similar manner that we've done with this, but that's through audio. But this, we just interact with it through chat. Now, you could, like I mentioned, you can also you can review the code that is generated for your module, whether you want to see that code in Python, you want to see that code in, I think, C# and something else. You can look at that and then export it, right? So here I was telling you, so last week, what do I keep referring to? So we didn't, we're not going to do the prompt flow because I think there is an issue with the prompt flow. We tried that last week and it almost crashed our system. But today we're going to look at the export, and then we'll take a look at potentially deploying it as a web app, and then we can interact with that web app. So this is going to go ahead and spin off other services. But again, I'm just going to do a quick recap of how our AI is looking like, and then I'll go ahead and deploy it to a web app today, and then we can see how we can leverage that web app, whether we want to connect it to a backend API, whatever that is as well. So let's just wait for that to load. Whilst that's loading, let me know if you have any questions for me. Now, if you don't have an Azure account, you can actually create one for free and get about $100 credit. However, if you finish expelling or using that $100 credit, you can still leverage all the free services that Microsoft Azure has to offer. I know this is not Tuesday. I want to interface. Okay, let's go. What are you saying? You're saying what? Let's see what Eliklim is saying, if we can bring this up for people. Eliklim is saying that I know this is not Tuesday. I want to interface this with the MX chip. You can. I think I mentioned the last time that Edge Impulse, right, and TinyML, you can actually run a TinyML module on the MX chip. Now the good thing is that I'll show you again on the screen. Some of the modules Microsoft has the small language modules, right? Not the large language, but there are some small language modules that you can actually package and put on some of those devices, like edge devices, and do your own AI inference. I think Llama is also one of it. You can also use Llama and deploy it on, edge devices, and that's not going to the cloud. So you have all the training modules and data set onto it. Now, what I want to see is, I know the couple of, and yeah, this is a social call to you, Nanagata. You owe me an interview. Let's see how we can bring Abuna AI and all those doing, Kwame AI. How can we bring the knowledge from this and translate and use it so we can literally have AI or GPTs or AI modules that are speaking our language? I joined. Let's see what Elliot is saying. Elliot says, what's Elliot saying? Elliot, what are you saying? Elliot said what? I joined later on in the video, but I grabbed some parts about AI with business. Can you give me a short walkthrough of how, as a developer, I can incorporate that AI into my software architecture? So, apart from having AI as your co-pilot, which is ChatGPT, GitHub Copilot, even the Copilot inside the IDs, aside that helping you, right, to write, to code faster and more efficient. The other part is in terms of adding it to your incorporating to your software architecture is, now there is always, you need to have an understanding of what you are building, all right? And I say what you are building in the sense that, again, in as much as every system or every solution can benefit, from using AI. Again, you need to understand the use cases of it, asking what architecture you are building or what solution you are building. If the solution you are building doesn't call for the use for AI, you don't put that in. But like I said, it's as simple as, I have a large language model, right? And I have trained my own data that I'm going to ground. So those who are using, AI in the Microsoft ecosystem, you are grounding it and using a Microsoft graph. So whether it's Dynamics, SharePoint, and all the touch points within your infrastructure, you can create your applications and integrate it, and it's grounded in the data in your organization, right? So if you want to look at it from that perspective, then we can say that as an entity, or whichever entity you're working on, if you're collecting data and you're using this data to train or ground your AI, then obviously you can infuse this into applications within the company, right? It could be, let's say, a leave application, and then you could ask it, I'm planning a vacation for this, that. Do I have enough leave, or just, what do you think, or just walk me through or something? And because it's grounded with your enterprise data, I can tell you, okay, you've spent, let's say, 5 days out of your leave days, you have maybe 10 days left, and because you want to go to Hawaii at this time, based on the weather forecast, this time might not be a good time for you to go, and maybe looking at your schedule and things you've set up, I would suggest that you go at this time of the year where there's less pressure in the office, where the weather is going to be good, and also because you're going to fly from Accra, I think you're going to have, lower, air ticket fare. So I hope you're getting the context. So incorporating it is not, it's not like it's on a case by case basis, but you can incorporate it in almost every infrastructure architecture that you use. It's strange. Why is it taking long? Let me actually refresh this. Refresh. I'm sure that thing I tried. Awesome. Thank you for that. Yeah, make sure you have your, have all our friends, families, people who are interested in this joining. There is a lot to learn. You're welcome, Elliot. Come on, let's see. Yeah, 43 minutes into it. Wow, time really flies when you're really having fun. Is it possible to connect GPT to, say, a core banking application? Yes. It is possible to connect GPT to, say, a core banking application. So, like I said, I would recommend building upon one of the modules and then grounding it and then exposing this into your banking applications. So with that said, you could literally run out. One of the things people don't notice is that all your AIs don't necessarily have to be generative, right? There is generative AI. That is what you're seeing GPT do, where it's generating the content. Like, ask it for something and it generates it based on the knowledge and the grounding it has, right? The same power and the same knowledge can be used to do different things without being generative. In the sense that, can I confirm that this transaction is fraudulent or not? An AI can do that. Doesn't necessarily have to be generative, but can process that transaction based on data it knows and just spit out is a positive or a negative. That's like machine learning. But in the more advanced context where you're having data on the transactions and other elements, other transactional facts and metadata around it, yes. So you can actually incorporate it. The question is, when you're incorporating it, what data are you grounding it on? And what is the use case to it? I keep saying that you can have a lot of things like buzzwords, right? Now, AI, generative, and all these things are like technically buzzwords. You don't put them in because hey, Charlie, everybody's using AI, so I need to put AI in my stuff. It doesn't work like that. It shouldn't work like that, right? So you need to understand, you need to have a plan. What is the end game? If I'm incorporating AI or GPT, whatever, what is the end game? What do I want it to, what problem do I want it to solve? What is it serving? What's the benefit? And then you need to put the measures also in place that, okay, after we incorporated AI, this is the KPI. This is the outcome. Is it meeting the goals? And you also need to make sure that you're educating people enough to understand the use cases of it. Not just because everybody's integrating AI and therefore, yeah, let's put it inside. No, it doesn't work like that. I hope I answered your question. This is interesting. It's taking forever. What's happening to my... okay, let's see if other things would show up here so we can get this done. I hope I'm whetting your appetite and it's getting interesting and you're understanding where we are going with this whole, being able to build your AI and grounding it with your own data set and stuff like that. Come on, guys, okay. Okay, let's go through. Let's see if we can. How different or similar are AI and robotic process automation? So they are two different things. But that that work together. So robotic process automation, can I show you something right now? Hey, I was actually, funny enough, I was actually going to show something on robotic process automation on Sunday on the Power Series. I'm actually going to leave that. If you want to see it, I won't show it here. I'll leave it for Sunday. If you want to see how that can be done, I'll show you that on Sunday. But on Sunday as well, I'm going to show you how to use the AI component in Power Automate, create a generative AI, and then how you can utilize it within Power Automate and build your flow. But to answer your questions, they are not the same. Robotic process automation is just ways to automate. Nope, you think I'll give it out? Come and join the Sunday stream and you learn it. So robotic process automation is just a way to automate things that you would have repeated tasks that you would have done manually, right? So let's say every morning you're supposed to go to some website, look at some numbers, write that number down, put it into some system and stuff like that, right? And you have to do it every day. So robotic process automation can come in to help you automate that process. Or it's just allowing you to, automate repeated tasks. That's what robotic process automation is. However, AI is obviously a whole based on its own, a whole department, and from machine learning, big data, all that crazy stuff. However, they can benefit from each other. Robotic process automation can benefit from AI in a way, right? Let's say in some cases, right, there are AIs that can do analysis, like image analysis, right? So let me give you an example for those that are doing Forex and trading. Assuming you want to be analyzing some Forex or trade, your chart trend, and you don't have access to the API. Okay, you don't have access to the API that will give you, the data and the trend. So you have a model that is good in looking at the chart over time and telling you, whether you need to short or whatever those terms are. All right. So you can now use a combination of robotic process automation and the AI. And where does robotic? So robotic process automation can come in, let's say, taking a screenshot of your Forex chart, maybe every 5 minutes, right? And as soon as it takes that picture of the chart or the trend, it can now send it to an AI model that is going to analyze that and immediately tell you in the next 5 or 10 minutes, you need to short or you need to, you get it. So there are two different things, but can benefit from each other. I hope I answered the question for you. All right. I don't know what's happening. I wanted to see, let's see the code. You know what, guys? Let me do this again. I'm literally going to start. Let me see if I can. Let's open a new instance and see if it can load faster. Oh, come on, 10 minutes. But I hope the session has been informative, even though I've not got into the cracks of things. But let's do this. Let's do. Yeah, like I said, if you have any questions, just drop it. Where am I? I'm really craving Wache at this time. I'm sure I'm going to get to Wache right after the stream. I know, yes, it's 11 p.m. It's almost 12, yes, but I'll get my Wache. I've not had my beer for the day, but I will have my Wache. Come with me. Come with me. All right. Okay, so this seems to have loaded. Let's open our project. Let's go to our hub, which is where we have our project. Yeah, so we have our Demystify Tech AI. And then we are not using any AI services. So what I'm interested in is I'm smelling good soup. Well, are they going to do some food in your area tomorrow? We started preparing the soup. Okay, let's go to the playground. Let's go to the chat playground. Yes. And it's loaded. Come on, don't do this to me. Yeah, there you go. So this is the hub. This is everything that was created. There was an Azure. So behind the scenes, right? These are the services that are making your AI studio or your project work. So there is you have an open AI creator key, so you can leverage the vision, the generative, the text, and all that. So and then it creates a blob storage for you, right, to store some of your, the artifacts and stuff for your. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to go straight to the I can no, I'm not using the API right now. We'll talk about the API keys next week. This week we just want to be able to do a quick deploy the module to an app service, right? And then we can know that, hey, we have our own AI module, and some chill would be, oh yeah, very very necessary. Yeah, very necessary. Also, the chill would be a dear. I have one cry waiting for me. I should have killed it, but by the time I got back, Charlie, things were, there you go. All right, so this is the deployment we did, and so we can, and here I mentioned this is a system message that's grounding it, telling you what it is. But here is the add your data. So for those who were asking whether you can do the bank or my own data, so this is it. You can go ahead and add your data. It's in preview version right now, but again, the whole concept is to make it accessible directly from, if you're using the AI Studio. So you can bring in your own data. It could be data sets from stuff you've done from the past. I think last week we mentioned that you could be a storyteller. You're reading books, you're reading stuff. You can put it here so that it's grounded as part of your module. All right. So we can look at the code, and here you see it. So now you can use the following code to start integration your current prompt and settings into your application. So those that are asking application developers, how do I do this? This is the endpoint, and this is the API key, right? So I can use this endpoint and this API key and create an application. It could be a mobile application, it could be anything, and then I can now connect to it and start interacting for it to have this generative thing. And they have a sample. I think I shared this last week. They have a sample code here in Python. You can literally just you can see there's the C#, there's a Java, there's Go. So whichever language you are, you are cool to, you can use it. So make sure you're providing your Azure. You have all this information. Just copy this, and then this is just a Python version, right? Now, if you don't want to directly handle this and stress yourself about this, then we can go the other route, which is deploying it into a web app. So let's go ahead and deploy it into a web app. So this is the project we have. We select the project, and then let's go ahead. Okay. So there you go. So your app will be configured with Azure Active Directory authentication enabled, which makes it easy. It's just setting it up. So here I have to create it. So this is more or less like if I were creating like an Azure web app, right? Just going through the same processes of doing that. So I'm going to do that. So let's call this the Demystify AI. And the subscription, I think we know the subscription we're using. The resource group, you should put it in the AI. Location, let's leave it in the East US. Pricing plan for years, obviously don't forget that. I'm going to do a very standard S1. All right. Enable chat history in the web app. Yes, I want to see the chat history. And this is going to use Cosmos DB, right? So because you want to enable chat history, you want to store your chat history, so Cosmos. But for the purpose of this session, I would just should I or should I not? That's going to incur some cost. Should I not? Okay, let's leave it there and let's deploy. So this in the background is going to go through the process, create an app service, put it in the resource group, set up the settings and bundle everything, and then deploy our AI in this bare experience. We've not done any updates to it. We just say that, hey, we want an app service and the model should be based on GPT-4o, right? So that's what we're doing. So it's deploying, and notice that because we've started deploying it, you should have seen the launch button appear here, which was not there before. So once the deployment is successful, we can now come here and hit the launch, and this is going to take us to our web app, which is integrated with our our model here, the GPT-4 model, right? 4.0, which we are calling the Demystify AI. So now we have a Demystify AI bot that we can leverage to do a lot of things. So yeah, we're just waiting. Deploying the app will take a few minutes. You can view the status, on the deployment tab. Yes, that will give us that information. So I'm just going to leave it. Down here, right? If you're looking for the deployment tab, is down here on the left. So we can go to the deployment tab to see what's happening. So actually, let's just go there. We can come back to the chat and deploy. But once it's deployed, the launch will become active. And when you click on it, automatically or automagically, it will take you to that app. So you have two options, right? The first option is to use the API and your keys and stuff like that to literally, right, invoke it using the sample APIs. Or you can say, hey, deploy an app for me, and I'll be calling that app to do my interactions. And that's what we're going to be seeing in a moment. So it's running. It's succeeded. So let's see. There you go. Rate limit. So we have about 10,000 tokens capacity, about 10K tokens per minute. Content filtering is different. We've not. So this is just our plain, right? It's just a plain thing. So let's see the app deployment. That was our model deployment. Let's refresh. So app deployment is not done yet. This is the model deployment. We deployed a GPT-4 model, and that's what we're using in our AI. But we are doing the app deployment is what we are waiting for now. So it's still running. Let's refresh this. Yeah, it's still running. So once it's done, it would show here. If we go back to our chat, that should show up. If it's done, the launch will be active, and then we can pretty much, interact with it in that app. So you see, the launch is not done, so it's still deploying. A minute at a time. I believe that I'm not sure this is going to be done before, but you can see how it's done. And oh, hold on, I was not sharing that. Sorry. So yeah, the launch button is still not active, which means it's still deploying. Like right here. So once it's done, we should be able to see, just click launch and it goes, just go, or we can, integrate it into our things. Like I said, if you don't want to go this route of, creating an app and setting it up, then you can use the view code here and then use the endpoint and the API key, and you can select the code snippet and directly call the endpoint, right? And there's a sample code to do that for you. So that is what time will permit us. We've done exactly an hour. Like I said, I'm going to try to respect your time. With that said, if this was useful to you and you want to see more of this, please make sure you subscribe, you hit the notification bell, and then you invite your classmates, your family, your friends, even your enemies, equip them to learn and join us to do this. My name is yours truly, Samuel Adrani. I do this every Friday. I do IoT on Tuesdays, I do general technology on Fridays, and I do Power Platform stuff on Sunday. Like I said, if you want to see the Power Platform stuff on Sunday, where I show you how to do some of the RPA and AI stuff, don't miss it on Sunday, 8 p.m. Hopefully nothing comes up at 8 p.m. We can do that. But if this is something you want to continue to do, like I said, subscribe, invite people to join the channel. Like I always say, let's make the world a better place through technology. Be safe out there, and as the rains are coming, always make sure you are safe. We need you all alive. If you're alive, then we can continue this. Thank you very much, all of you who joined from all the platforms, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, all the places. I really appreciate your time and hope to see you next week. Please make sure you drop your questions. These are my socials. It's the same place as Adrani on all the platforms. Reach out to me, send your message, suggestions, ideas, and yeah, I'll be as excited and happy to see as welcome that. With that said, I'll catch you again on Sunday. Be safe. Let's make the world a better place. I'm out.